Welcome to The Creatives, Radio Now's entertainment talk show. My name is Doris Okorie. You'll be listening to us every Friday at 9:05 a.m. and repeats at 8 p.m. on Radio Now 95.3 FM and also on our other platforms, on our website www.thisisradionow.com, on Facebook, facebook.com/thisisradionow, on YouTube, Radio Now Studio. Today in the studio, I have a very talented guest. I have with me in the studio a creator who is skilled with letters and creates magic with them. Fasten your seatbelts. You're tuning to The Creatives on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos, and my name is Doris Okorie. Let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're tuning to The Creatives on Radio Now 95.3 FM. My name is Doris Okorie. I have with me in the studio a content creator who is a master letter weaver, a wordsmith, and an excellent creatives whose creation goes from words on papers to visuals on your screen. She is a writer who has written projects such as Schooled, Broken, The Mirror, Just Before Dark, and many more. Welcome, screenwriter Lois, popularly known as Lois Truly. Thank you so much, Lois, for coming through.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Lois, as a creative, especially when you are in a creative process, say you have a script to write, something to finish, what are the top three things that you do when you are creating?
First of all, research. Whatever it is I'm writing, I do a lot of research on the topic, a lot. I read, like, I how do I put it? I take in too much information, then I start to sort it.
Okay.
You get, so it's like overloading myself with information, then I sort. I do a lot of research, and then I listen to music a lot. So I keep playing music. I don't know how to explain it, but it does something. I don't know if it's just me. Like, some kinds of music will always put you in some kinds of mood.
True.
So I play a lot of music, and then coffee.
You a coffee drinker?
A lot of coffee. And it's not even, people take coffee to stay awake, to sleep, whatever, but it's not just about staying awake or sleeping. It's the smell of coffee. It's just, it's like sparking joy, and then my mind is like
singing and dancing
like,
and awake.
Okay, let's do this, we're ready. Yeah, so research, music, and coffee.
Okay, so I always think of myself as some form of a writer, some form, and I try. And then, there's actually, you hear things like screenwriter, script writer. Is there a difference between a script writer and a screenwriter?
For movies, no.
Okay.
I think it's just technicalities.
Okay.
The person who wrote the screen, the person who wrote for the screen, it's the same thing. And many people just don't know. But I think the more correct term is screenwriter, because I was reading something one day, and then I realized that a script writer can also be someone who codes. So that's a script, but not a story. Do you get? I don't know how to explain it.
Like, write for like books?
No, not for books. I mean codes.
Oh, write codes.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I was reading that. Like, again, I do a lot of research.
Yeah,
but I saw it somewhere. I'm like, what? This is a thing. So, I mean, technically they're both correct, but I think the more correct one is screenwriter, because you're writing for the screen.
Film.
Because okay, so yeah, I write scripts, but what if what I'm writing is not it's not for the screen? I'm not the screenwriter.
It could be voiceovers for
exactly.
radio.
That's I'm still the script writer, but it's not for the screen.
screen.
Yeah, so it's for movies, screenwriter.
Learned something today. So I would be choosing my words correctly going forward. So Lois, how did you get into the business of screenwriting?
So my own is kind of funny. I came to Lagos, like I grew up in Enugu. Then I came to Lagos for acting school.
Oh, okay.
And while I was in acting school, they give you scripts to use to rehearse and all that stuff, or practice. And then I saw the scripts. And then I remember that when I was like 17-ish, 16, 17, I was leading a big church drama group.
Okay.
And every time I had to tell the actors what to say over and over and over. And it became tiring. So I started writing the things I would say down. So instead of saying, Doris, say this again, I would just write it in papers and give it to you. So read it from there and don't disturb me, because who wants that stress?
Yeah.
And then I didn't know those things were scripts. I didn't know they were actually drama scripts. So when I went to acting school and saw the scripts, I was like, that's what I've been writing.
Aw.
I've been doing this.
I've been doing this
And then,
already.
yeah, and then I now started asking questions. I was told you can study it, and then I started studying, taking classes, Afrif, thank you, Afrif. No, because it really helped my life a lot.
great.
So that's how I got into it. It was something I was already doing, and then it just made it official.
Okay, but I mean, you had mentioned you coming in from Enugu to be an actor.
Yeah.
Now that you've been immersed in the film industry or the Nigerian movie industry, do you still think that there is another field you would like to, venture into?
Yeah, I still like to do my acting one day.
Okay.
I like to say I'm lazy about it because I want to do it on my own terms. So one day I'll still do that. But other than that, no. Maybe owning my own production company. Not maybe, definitely one day. But I don't think I want to be the active producer.
Oh.
I want to create the things that would be shot, and produced and all that. But I don't want to be the one running around to bring everybody around. So
Oh, I see. You just have your name there,
Yeah.
plastered, Lois, but somebody else doing the job.
thank you, but you get it. You get it.
Okay. So I mean, you started as coming in as an actor, and then you started telling people what to say, writing it down, da 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 da. How did you transform just enjoying telling people what to do into actually making a career out of that?
I've told you if I like research, right? So the first thing I did was read a whole lot, and I had a very good guide. As far as I'm concerned, I was just lucky because I met this teacher, Mr. Kehinde Joseph, in acting school, and he gave me a whole lot of pointers. But one of the things that he did most for me was to remind me to train. I mean, it's something I do because I wanted to be an actor. I moved my whole life to Lagos to learn, to literally study acting, right? So when it was time for me to do writing, I just knew. I just had a little talk with him, and then I registered for Afrif. That was the first thing I did. I had to understand the business of writing. And from there, it was, there's a difference between this is my talent and this is my skill.
Yeah.
Two different things. So immediately I got there and actually got training for it as a business. And that was just what I needed. And then I started going from there. Everything that I learned, I just went forward with it.
Okay.
I
but
learned.
Was there anything in particular that piqued your interest when you now went to the acting school and you were like, oh, this is what I've been doing? Was there something else that in your head that was like, this is what I've been doing and I want to do this?
I think sometimes when you're naturally gifted in something, these things don't happen as they don't happen intentionally because it's like, oh, I'm good at drinking water. No, you just drink water.
Right.
So it was like that. Oh, I'm a good writer. Even in acting school, people would always say, write my scripts. They say we should do this, write for me. And it was so easy to me because I'm like, how can you not write this? It's just one page of dialogue. And then I'll do that. So I don't think I ever sat down and said, oh, it's that moment or anything. I think it was just like drinking water, like breathing. You just do
Natural,
it.
it just came to
you. Just do it. But the only thing I know I did was take a decision that, okay, I'm going to write. So I need to learn about this. That's the one I'm sure of. But other than that, nah, I don't think so.
Okay. So how did your family take the news when you said, okay, I want to start writing stories, something?
So I have a very, very supportive family.
Aww.
First of all, we're 5 kids and it's just my mom. I don't think any of us has ever come to her to say, Mommy, we want to do this, and then she flat out said no.
No.
She has never. My younger sister is a director and she never questioned it.
Oh, great.
All she always says is, does it make you happy? Have you trained for it? She's the one that put that. She has a very spirit of excellence thing. She would always say, you can't just jump into something. You have to learn it. So she was the reason I came here to go to acting school with her money and everything.
Oh, nice.
So when I still told her that, oh, look, this is something else I can do, she didn't doubt it. I've always been writing around the house and reading around the house. It wasn't something brand new. She saw me writing those scripts. She knew the days I would stay awake at midnight writing scripts for my small church drama crew.
Aww.
So she knew. She wasn't surprised. They've always been very supportive, all of them.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you so much, family, for always being supportive too. Lois,
Thank
truly.
you. Shout out, Mama.
Shout out, Mama. Kisses to you. So when you started out as a screenwriter, what were the challenges you faced at the time?
Whoa, brokenness, Mama. Brokenness. At the time now, Because the truth is, it's a Nigerian thing. You know, if you're not in front of the camera, it's not that easy for people to respect your craft, what you do, because nobody see your face. You know, and then I think writing generally is not really very respected in. I don't think it's just Nigeria, by the way. I think it's this climb, you know, Africa, shading your. But you know, that's the first thing, because you couldn't find someone to pay you enough for that to pay all your bills. So I had to take other jobs. I was crappy at them, but I had to survive. You know, that was the very first thing. That was the being broke was the thing that would always make me go, can I do this?
Okay.
Is it too late to turn
To
back?
change.
You know, but yeah, that was my main challenge.
Okay, so what challenges do you currently face as a screenwriter?
Again, payments. So of course I've come a long way from 2015, right? Thankfully I have. But when I say payments now, I don't necessarily mean for me. I mean for like the industry generally. It's frustrating that without a script there will be no movie. Because even if you're going to if you say you can shoot without a script, are you going to tell like 5 to 10 actors what to say each scene
right there on the spot,
and make sure that they keep saying it because they need, you know, continuity?
Yes.
Are you going to do that? So we have this group of talented people who are the backbone of every movie, to be honest. And then they are so underappreciated
and
underpaid. And it's sad because what then happens is that you see one writer has to take a lot of jobs to be able to survive. And then our creativity we use less and less of our creativity. So if I say my biggest challenge would be, you know, it's creativity, but it's directly tied to payment, because it's like, my creativity is like 5%. As far as I'm concerned, I tweet that all the time, by the way, like 5%, because I believe that if I was in a place where I'm paid what I'm worth, you know, according to my skill and talent, I would be more creative, because I wouldn't worry about my basic bills.
Yeah.
You know, my creativity level would be like, and I know I'm a very creative person, but I know I'm not using half of it.
Because sometimes, you know, you hear things like, oh, we want just 5 actors, we want just 1 office and 2 houses, make it work. You know, so I think on
let me not get into that. But yeah,
my chest. We want to make sure that there's no road scenes. We want everything to be indoors.
My God.
Lois, you can drag them. You can drag them. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. If you can't drag them, I'll drag them for you.
I'm actually begging, but I do understand. It's a budget thing. I mean, for everything that Nollywood is or isn't, you have to give kudos to these filmmakers who are doing this without much funds, funding ourselves. When did we start getting funding from international bodies and banks? When? And we've been doing this stuff and trying to create good stories. So I get it. I will grumble when they tell me, oh, you should see me. I grumble and grumble, but deep down I get that this is what must happen if this story is going to be told. If not, if you write above the budget, if you write an airport scene, who's going to pay for it?
That you can't even, let's not even get there.
So
let's
I kind of get it, but it's annoying.
Right. Okay. So my next question is, I know that you have written like a couple of genres. What is that one genre that you genuinely love to write?
Horror.
I just knew it. I just knew it. You can see it on her that she likes.
Why do people always
dark
have this
stuff.
reaction to me saying I love horror?
Why, Lois, truly? Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because it plays around with fear. A very primal human urge.
Right.
You know? And a topic we don't often like. I don't know. I just like horror. Like when we were kids, you know, you watch Willy Willy, it was scary to you, right? I loved it. I would run back home from school to watch Willy Willy. You know, I didn't even know it was supposed to be scary.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I checked YouTube and I saw this stuff and I was like, oh, that was supposed to be horror. It was cute.
Days.
Chucky was cute to me. Chucky was cute.
Lois,
sorry, but really,
seriously,
Chucky.
Cute.
You've not seen Chucky?
I have seen
that
Chucky.
Doll is cute. That's my point. I love.
Can somebody please
maybe I have
escort Lois out of this studio? studio right now. How can you say Chucky is cute with this scar and him coming like this? And
I don't know.
Okay, so that's the genre you love. But
Yeah,
what genre
horror.
would you say you would most likely never touch?
I can't. I don't think, because I don't understand the concept of doing only one thing.
Okay.
My brain just doesn't function like that. So I would like to touch every genre. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Oh, if I were to choose, gun to my head.
Gun to your
romance.
See how rolling that. So you like Willy and Chucky, but you don't like all the my Tunde, my love.
Shit. Nah.
Are you serious, Lois? Give your life to the Almighty.
I'm trying, but nah.
Okay, great stuff. So, if you were to, because of course for film, it's not just the actors or the DPs. There are different, bits and pieces that come together to create a film. If you were to compare the other bits and pieces to screenwriting, what would you say is the importance of screenwriting?
The most basic importance is structuring the story.
Okay.
Because we can say, oh, so Adanobi fall in love, but then someone has to say this is how they meet, this is the moment they fell in love, So the structure, every other person, we're all here because of this story.
Yeah.
That's what screenwriting brings to the table. Because, again, if we were to tell it with our mouths, okay, Adanobi fell in love, even when you're telling the story,
yeah.
Okay, Adanobi fell in love, so how did it happen? That's the first thing someone asks, how did it happen? Where did they meet?
Right.
When, So that's the major difference, structure to the story. The story is, creativity is everywhere.
True.
Anybody can bring any idea, but it has to take someone to sit down and say, okay, this is how it flows from one scene to another to another.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is there anything or things that inspire your writing?
I think everything.
Okay.
And I say that all the time because I could literally be sleeping and have a dream, and that dream becomes my next story.
Right.
I could be in a bus and hear two people talking, and that's my story, I could literally just be walking on the road and see a name, just one name, and then it just spirals from there. Everything inspires me, whether it's laughter, people in love, everything.
Great stuff. So what would you say is your creative process? What's it like?
Do I have a process? Let me see. Okay, I don't think I have a process, but I know that I don't just have a story and then jump into writing. I don't think so.
For a bit.
Yeah, let it. So if I have a story, let's say it's horror, right? So I think.
Of course.
Stop beefing my horror.
I am beefing it.
So what I often do is I watch a whole bunch of movies in that genre.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
Ah.
So what it does is that it gets my mind into thinking like that, because if you're going to write romance and you've been watching action movies, it's not that easy to just switch your mind to writing the romance. If we're being honest, you'll be thinking in terms of action, because that's just what you've been doing to your mind the whole time. So I think that's the biggest thing I do, get my mind in line with whatever genre I'm writing at that point.
Okay. So most times, screenwriting has to deal with, dealing with people, for example, the producer. And I know there are two ways to write, basically, majorly. There is, you're inspired, you write a script, you say, hey, producer, I have a script, here's the script, and they say, okay, do you know what, touch it here and there. Then there is, hi, Lois, truly, we want you to write a script, here's the nucleus of the story. Boy meets girl, boy fall in love, da 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 da. And most times I've noticed that you see that one that they are telling you boy meets girl, they will change and change and change and change and change, and they will even say, do you know what? Let us do it girl meets boy. Let's just do it. How do you cope with such? How do you handle such situations?
The first thing is have a contract. Have a contract that says, I am officially obligated to give you 2 drafts of a script.
Okay.
The first one, and then the second one where I've done all your corrections. After that, you're going to have to pay me, my nigga.
You have to pay like a percentage or the entire thing?
No, like if I write more than 2 drafts for you, from the second draft, it's a new contract. You're going to have to pay me. So what then happens is that most times the producers know that, oh, I don't have a limitless You know, I don't have limitless opportunities to keep changing things. But before you even get there, and this has never happened to me, what I do more practically, what I practice is that before I start writing, we do a lot of changing. So, you know, you give me the idea, we go back and forth, I give you a treatment. So the treatment is, let's say I write number 1, this is what happens in this scene number 2. So it's not a script yet. So we go to that
So
treatment.
basically,
and
there's no
change
dialogue.
Nothing yet, just the
Okay.
actions, you know.
Okay.
So we go there and change everything that we need to change, because you can see it play out. I've not written the lines and everything, but you can see everything playing out. So we go there and change everything we need to change as much as we want. Then I go to the script, because once I go to that script and I write, you have 1 or 2 more chances max to change anything.
Wow.
But then, you know, outside that, what I also do is that I'm selective of the people I work with. I know,
Okay.
yeah, I know it sounds somehow, but I am. So I know that I've never not worked with a professional. I've not worked with someone who was problematic before.
Lucky you.
I know, but I also think it's because I'm selective. You know, most times when people come to me, the way they went to check me out online, I also go to check them out and say, okay, so what have they done?
Who have they worked
You know,
with?
and then when people are talking to you, your instincts also come to play. Like you would know. Trust me, even if it's not writing, it's a business, you have a client coming to you, you will know when someone is going to
Your
give you
gut.
stress. You will know. And one of the first things that I did in this business was to always be willing to walk away from money. I would drink that Gary in my house
Peacefully.
but don't stress me.
All right, then, you're tuning to The Creatives on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. My name is Doris Okorie. Let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're tuning to The Creatives on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. My name is Doris Okorie. My first question, or rather, I would like you to toot your own horn, right?
Okay.
If you were to compare your first few scripts with what you're doing now, how would you say Lois truly has grown?
Well, okay, so definitely I'm definitely better because I take classes and read a lot and stuff. But you know the funny thing, a few months ago, I was reading a script because I had to send a script sample to someone.
Okay.
And I was reading like the very first script I wrote, like my own script, not the one I was hired to write. And I was reading this stuff, I was like, damn, girl, that was good. Look at
Are
these
you serious?
lines. Was this you? 2015? I was very proud. So I just know that the creativity has been kind of the same. It's been
Okay.
dope. I think what has evolved has been my style of putting the creativity forward.
Okay. As a screenwriter and a person who is in the film industry and the space, what can you say about the type of story content or the film content that is coming out of Nigeria?
So first of all, I'm very proud of us because of how far we've come. I know we like to shit on Nollywood, but if you really think about it without all the extra judgments, we've come a long way, right? And I'm talking story right now, you know. We've come a long way. We're doing better and all that, which I like. But I think that we can do more in terms of not Americanizing our stories. So we have good stories. As far as I'm concerned, I know we say generally in the film industry that every kind of story has been told. I get it. But not every kind of story has been told with the Nigerian twist to it. You know, I've watched a whole lot of horror movies, I can assure you.
Of course.
A whole lot. But I can tell you that sometimes when I think about these horror movies and I think about what writing a truly Nigerian horror movie would be, I know it's going to be different. And yet, we've seen all kinds of stories.
True.
You just know. So I think that as much as we're doing better, we can do more in terms of telling authentic Nigerian stories. If we can just get out of our heads and, you know, we don't want to, and stop telling the stories we've been watching from Hollywood and tell our own stories. Oh my God. Nobody will see our back. I'm not even playing.
Right.
Yeah. So I think, we're better. I love that. But then
Okay.
can we
Some
do
people,
more?
right? Do more. Lois says do more.
Do more Nigerian.
Do more Nigerian stuff. Some people have the opinion that storytelling influences the world. In your own words, how can you say storytelling influences the world?
Oh my God, it influences like a whole lot. And I don't even think a lot of people realize it, because whether it's movies, or whether it's commercials, it's still storytelling, right? Or music, it's still storytelling. All of these ways, they influence, you put it in front of people,
Yeah.
and then very soon it becomes how they think, you know? So the word influences storytelling. No, the word inspires storytelling, but storytelling influences the word because if I, for example, let's start. The easiest one is stereotypes. You keep throwing that, for example, I'm Igbo, so you keep saying Igbo people are the only thing they know is business and rituals. If you keep doing that in a movie, I bet you everybody around Nigeria will start to think that that's the only thing Igbo people are about, and it's simply not, you know. And then if you keep saying, oh, the only tribes in Nigeria are Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, for example,
Yeah.
everybody will start thinking that those are the only tribes in Nigeria, and we have like a whole lot of
Yes,
other
we do.
tribes, you know. So it's no, in a very major way, and it's mental. That's the more powerful way of influencing anything, you know. So
Okay. So what is your take on collaboration in the Nigerian film industry?
I I think we're not collaborating enough yet.
Okay.
Because and this is from where I see it, so this may not be 100% correct, but from what I see, it's the younger upcoming ones who say, hey, let's do stuff, but I don't see the big ones collaborating enough. I mean, you guys have all these resources, and there are some movies that I see from like one big production company, and I see another, and I'm like, I wonder if the director from here, if you get him together with the director from here and give them, for example, I would say, let's say this production company likes glamour,
Yeah.
this one likes deep stories. I wonder if we were to merge them, what would happen, the kind of stories they would create, you know. And then I'm like, you know what, forget it. It's not going to happen
gonna
because
happen.
we are so busy fighting
Yes,
for
competition,
title.
yes.
I'm the first to do this, I'm the first to do that,
my,
you know.
my movie
We are
has
not-
reached that hits
yeah.
millions.
We're
da, da,
not
da.
collaborating enough. And I don't think we'll see it now. Years to come, we'll start seeing it more, the effect.
Okay. So, this is one of my favorite questions. I'm already laughing because I can imagine the things that you're going to tell me now. What is the craziest thing that has ever happened to you whilst you were, writing the script?
Okay. Why writing? So, first of all, my laptop just
I just knew it was going to be a laptop. That's why I was already laughing because I just knew.
I have post-traumatic writing disorder from this shit because I was literally writing. I did not back up. My fault. I didn't back up. I had sent part of it, like the treatment, and then I had written up to like 30, 35 pages, and then my laptop just went. It just went off. And no, I know, laptops give you signs and all that.
Yeah.
It did not. I thought when it happened, I was like, haha, no way. I checked the charger, it has to be the charger, right?
Right.
Because I'm not a bad person. Why would my
would
laptop
bad things
actually
happen
spoil
to
like
me?
this? And then I checked the charger. Charger was good. I checked another laptop. My laptop was gone. It never
Wow.
came back. And when I now went to fix it, then I said, okay, so you have to wipe it.
Ooh. Wow.
Again, I'm not a bad person,
That touched,
I think.
that touched somewhere. It touched somewhere, to be honest.
I typed that whole thing. I had to. I went back. Lucky for me, I had sent the producer the treatment before, so I just because I couldn't even retrieve my own treatments, so I had
Wow.
to go back to the email, take the treatment, and then start all over, and then beg for more time.
Wow.
But
That's actually quite sad, Sha. Okay, Lois, let's get to the business of things,
All right.
right? Because it's very important to make money. Okay, money is
Yes.
very, very, very important.
Very.
How profitable would you say the business of screenwriting
it's
is?
not.
Let me finish my question. Like, my heart. You want to take it from my throat? What's going
I'm
on?
sorry.
I don't
I'm
understand.
passionate about this part.
My chest.
Okay, sorry, Doris. Ask the question again.
Carry on with your answer, Joe. So it's not profitable.
No.
Wow.
Not right now, at least.
Mm.
And it's not going to be until the industry starts to pay writers what they're worth. That's just the God's honest truth. You
Okay.
know? No, it's not.
So do you think that if there were situations whereby, you know how a movie is made and they say things like, and I know, they say things like, oh, it's a small budget, it was tight, we're just doing it for straight to TV, something, and boom, you see it in the cinema. Do you think that there should be some form of, if, for instance, you had told me that the movie was going to be small, and now I've written you an amazing script, and you've taken it to a bigger platform, do you think that there should be, should I say restitution or some form of royalties? Yes, exactly. Giving back to the screenwriter.
Yeah, I think that, and very, very, very few producers have done that with me. Not the taking to the cinema thing, but like paid me after they made more money and all that.
Great.
But then these things are not going to happen until we have structure.
Right.
Because we know about these things because writers in America, in Hollywood, do that. They have the Writers Guild of America. I think I'm getting it right. So Writers Guild that looks out for them, and then they ensure that these things happen. We need structure. You cannot. So if a producer does that to you as a writer, who do you run to?
Right.
You as a writer, you've not even finished like affording your Gary to drink.
Right.
You just paid off your laptop.
That's crashed.
And then they're doing this to you. Like, the point is, you don't even have enough money to pursue it.
Right.
But if there was a structure and you knew that, okay, so if I take this to the Writers Guild, they are going to fight for me, and you're sure of that, you already know that, you know what? Okay, you're in the cinema, but my lawyers will contact you.
Right.
Even though I don't have the money, my lawyers will contact you. And there's a Writers Guild. I'm just saying if it was more functional, things like this don't happen. So yes, there definitely should be royalty payments like that. If you're a producer and you're contacting a writer, you shouldn't do that. You can't be telling the writer, oh, it's a small budget and all that, and then they see their movie in the cinema. You're already a dishonest person to start with. You shouldn't breach your contracts like that. But if for whatever reason that happens, yes, the writer should pay more. Definitely.
Okay. Great stuff. My next question is, some writers have like signature, like that when I'm watching this thing, I just it's looking like it's this person that wrote it, or Steven Spielberg or whatever. Do you have your own signature?
I don't know. I've not thought about it.
Okay.
But if I did, I'm guessing it would be dialogue. Because almost everyone who has ever read my script would say, when I saw that dialogue, I knew it was Lois. And I've had people coming from sets, maybe friends who are also actors, and they didn't know I wrote the script. Maybe the title page is not there, so they didn't know who wrote it. And then they're like, Lois, did you write this?
Are you serious?
Like, tell me the story. And they tell me like, oh yeah, I wrote this. I knew it was you. I know that insult. This particular insult. It's your insult. I knew it was you. So maybe dialogue. Yeah,
right.
That would be my signature.
So who are the people that inspire you in your field?
Everybody. Everybody, generally speaking, then Tyler Perry.
Even when he wrote the other movie where the ladies was drinking from an empty cup, Fall from Grace, you still like that movie?
See, no filmmaker will ever get it 100% of the time. Okay. So I reduce my judgment, and of course I'm biased, but I'm just saying I reduce my judgment, But yeah, he's one of the. If I were to like say off the top of my head, who inspires me? Tyler Perry. But I'm telling you, everybody. Like every time I think about this producer or this new director who has just done this movie, I'm a Nigerian, so I'm already thinking like, I know what hardships he had to pass to get there. If they can keep going, I can keep going. Yes. So that's what I mean.
Believe it, Lois. So what are your aspirations in life?
To be able to work so little and earn so much.
I like that. That should be. I like that. Work little.
Yep, and earn
eat like an elephant.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
love that.
I don't think.
But ants work too much. No.
Yeah.
Scrap that. Scrap that.
Maybe sloths.
Yeah.
Or pandas. They play. Have you ever seen videos of them? They're always playing in the forests,
having so much fun.
I know. I want to be a panda, a human panda.
Okay, that works. So, what advice can you give to writers that are coming into the industry or are just starting out?
Sweetie, get a stable source of income. That's the first thing, because what happens is, I mean, if you can, because it's hard, what I've realized is that so many writers can't handle the two. I think it's the way our brains are wired. It's hard for us to work in structured environments and all that. But if you can, get a stable source of income because it will help you reject jobs you should not be taking. I didn't. Full disclosure, I did not get a stable source of income. I've had
Right.
like 3 jobs in my life and I didn't last more than 5 months in any of them. I'm terrible at it. But if I could, that's what I would. I don't know, maybe get it in writing, get a job in writing so you're still within what you
The
like.
scope.
But it's important because I'm telling you, there are people have told screenwriters to write 3 scripts for 50K. So you don't understand.
What?
So I'm telling you, so if you knew that at the end of the month,
Yeah.
your bills would be settled, you would never take that kind of money. Because it's an insult to your craft.
Right.
So just get a stable source of income and then keep pushing your writing if you can. That's what I would say.
Okay, great stuff. So I know sometimes people in the industry have to sign like non-disclosure agreements. Without your non-disclosure, if you don't have any, what other projects are in the pipelines?
For me right now?
Yeah, for you.
Okay, I can't call their names, but I can kind of talk about them.
Okay.
So I'm writing a series that would go on Showmax.
A telenovela?
For Showmax. No, not a telenovela.
Okay.
A drama.
Okay.
I'm writing, what else am I? I'm writing a feature for, okay, now I can't call down. But I'm writing few features, but then nothing of my own, interestingly.
Okay.
I've not been able to write my own script in a while because of work.
Okay. Okay, great stuff. So, in case, listeners want to collaborate or they want to say, oh, I love what Lois has said so far, I want to learn a thing or two from her, how can they reach you or contact you?
They can get from my Instagram account. Actually, anyway, I'm Lois Truly on all social media.
And she's very big on Twitter too.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Wait. Okay. I don't consider myself big, but okay. But yeah, on all my social media, people have contacted me from everywhere.
Okay.
On every social media I've been on, I've gotten work from there. So
great stuff. Could you spell out your handle?
Lois Truly, Lois Truly, Truly.
No underscore, no nothing.
No underscore.
Okay.
That thing is so cool.
Right then. Thank you so much, Lois. Truly.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you so much, Lois Truly, for coming through.
This has been nice.
So that was another exciting episode of The Creatives, the entertainment show that takes you behind the scenes. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot like I did. And of course, if you have any comments or questions, please contact us on our social media platforms with #The Creatives. So from me, Doris Okore, and the entire Creatives team, I'll see you next week with another exciting guest. Ciao!